television in Australia. And as the Olympic spirit gripped the city, Channel 7 became a part of Melbourne for all time. For over 3 decades, 7 has had a commitment to bring Melbourne the finest television of the day. The pride in Melbourne that gave birth to Channel 7 in 1956 is the pride that continues to drive us to bring Melbourne only the best. Only the best, because nobody knows Melbourne like 7.
The 1989 VFL Premiership season is proudly brought to you by Holden, makers of Commodore, Car of the Year, Gillette, the best a man can get, CUB, one of the world's great brewers, BP, on the move, and State Bank. We never forget it's your money.
Tonight, Saturday night replay features 4 of the top 5 teams. Second place Geelong, shooting for its 10th win in succession, and with Gary Ablett back, against Melbourne, in danger of losing 3rd place and the double chance in the finals. And Hawthorn against Collingwood. The Hawks keen to retain top spot, but feeling the effects of injury and suspension. And the Magpies facing their 3rd defeat in a row and under top 5 pressure. Good evening, and tonight we're starting with the blinder at VFL Park between Geelong and Melbourne. The Cats had won 9 in a row, and in their last 9 matches, Melbourne had lost only 1. That was to Geelong 4 rounds ago when they were thumped by 69 points in the mud at the MCG. Well, so between the two teams, they'd won 17 of their last 18 matches. It was clearly the match of the day and possibly the match of the season. And so it turned out to be in front of a crowd of just less than 40,000 at VFL Park. We're going to pick up the action with just a kick the difference. It's 5 points the difference with less than 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. And with me in the commentary box are Ian Robertson and Ross Glendinning.
Throw in the right forward pocket for the Demons. They lead by 5 points. Geelong a chance to get clear through Bruns. Out towards the 50-metre line, and there's the big man, Jimmy Steins. One of the favourites for the 1989 Brownlow medal. Very athletic. Kick towards full forward. Melbourne mark. Lyon, no, play on. Geelong get clear. Couch threads his way through, and the Cats out of trouble. Couch's kick out towards the wing. White, great tap out. Todd Viney playing it along in front of himself. He's got 4 to beat, and they all run into each other. It was a bit unbelievable stuff by Geelong, and they've managed to mess it up. The ball still in Melbourne's forward half.
And another great tackle there, this time Stephen Phoebe. What great contest from both sides.
Exciting stuff here in the match of the day at VFL Park. White up very early. Couch a little hand pass to Scott. Gary Hocking, great scoop. Oh, hand pass is intercepted. Well played by Lovett. And what a pass to Bennett. Just drops a little bit short. He was tackled when he didn't have the ball. No whistle. Morgan. Left footer out of defence. Yates the only chance for Geelong. Steins lifting. Jim Steins goes thump to O'Dwyer. Might have been spoiled by teammate Wilson, and it's flipped out the back to Buse.
Buse's short kick in towards centre-half back as Wilson is still on the ground behind play. Should never have gone for the mark. The kick out by Stephen Hocking, and he finds Bruns. Bruns on centre wing, runs through the centre after 1 bounce. Gives the hand pass, the hospital hand pass to Scott. Back it finishes with Bruns, a little fortunate. Left foot kick by Bruns, Brownless. Oh, 50-metre penalty, absolute certainty. Absolute. Oh, I can't express.
I really thought that the last few weeks that Rodney Grinner had cut that out of his play. It's really about the only mistake he's made for the day. He's been fairly tight on Ablett. Ablett's really only beaten him with a couple of big marks in the air. Gee, that silly play really is. John Northey be pulling his hair out. They've done well, they've come back, got in front, and now a gift goal to Geelong. Brownless certainly would have made the distance from where he was without the 50-metre.
Brownless kicks his 4th.
Yes, and a gift goal there, as I say. He still have made the distance from where he was, but a more difficult shot, of course, from about 40 metres out. That 50-metre taking him right up to the square. And Rodney Grinder, you should hang your head.
Well, would you tip now? Would you be game enough to tip that there'll be a change?
Well, I'll tell you what, I have complimented Grinder because he has stuck to his task pretty well, but that's just so unnecessary.
And Geelong in front by a point after the goal by Browners. So we've seen a couple of goals this quarter come from 50-metre penalties. Geelong fans starting to find some voice. Steins wins in the middle and goes after it again, applying the shepherd. Viney. White just gets the kick away. One-touch football by Flintoff. Great. Healy, what a sensational hand pass to Jackson. Jackson for goal and kicks it.
Great play, Melbourne. Great teamwork. The skipper in it again. And Ricky Jackson, who I asked before to give more for his teammates around the ground, he's done that. He's been a live wire for as well. That's his, pardon me, that's his second goal. And fine play out of the centre by Flintoff. What a skilled player. Really has worked very well.
Hasn't he played well?
Oh, look, I think he's been terrific. And last week he was the catalyst that got them going early. And he's done a very good job on couch today and has instigated a lot of move as well.
And one wonders why he can't get a regular game, David Flintoff, but he's doing the job pretty well this afternoon. A bounce in the centre, Stoneham, it favours Steins. Steins gets it out, Flintoff's on the end of it. Newport dispossessed by his own man in Healy. Bruns kicks the Cats into attack with less than 2 minutes left. Malacallis and Johnson. Johnson recovers well. Good tackle by Linder from the back. Malacallis spins out of trouble. Spiro Malacallis, a left foot pass effective to Bairstow. Inside 50. Bairstow kicks to the square. Ablett can't mark. Melbourne defence under pressure. Attempted kick off the ground by Hughes. Struggling for possession now. Lindner over the shoulder. Brownless can't mark. Grinter. Oh, he hand passes directly to Yates. Yates back towards Malacallis. Ablett pulled off it by Grinter. Yates will kick the goal. No. Misses badly into the pocket. And it's out of bounds on the full. The free kick to be taken by Jamie Dersma for Melbourne.
Too lucky to get out of that, weren't they? And that desperate handball from Grinner to try and clear it out of defence. Straight to Yates.
Melbourne by 5 points. Dersma. Steins underneath it this time. Bairstow. Centering kick. Lindner a chance. Good punch by White, but he hasn't cleared the area. Johnson. Oh, half volley at bootlace height by Newport. To the centre of the ground. Mark drop. Chance here for Melbourne if they can get this.
What a great clearing kick from Newport. I mean, that carried about 60 metres. It's interesting too, 50-metre penalties, 2 to Geelong and 4 to Melbourne. They've been crucial.
Ball up. Steins clean possession. Oh, he did that so easily. Lyon a chance. Oh, what a mark. Rogers wearing him like a blanket. Gary Lyon. I think too far out to score, but his very best kick might give it a nudge. Torpedo. A beauty. The siren's gone. Did it score? A goal to learn.
So, what's with the Leyland brothers? What happened to the wagon?
The Jackaroo is around the same price. With everything. Fuel injection, power steering, automatic if you want it.
Well, what are you going to do with the four-wheel drive?
Kakadu, Fraser Island. Give you a drive.
Yeah, wouldn't mind.
Sorry. You know how it is. It's a bit wet over there. Bit wet over here, too. Let me get some drinks. No, let me. Waiter, drinks all around.
Well, if we're going to make a party of it, let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
Sorry.
At Fussy Furniture Showrooms, 10% deposit gets you the 100% look, all for no more than you'd pay at any other store, guaranteed. Because the furniture you want is what we're fussiest about.
For a versatile 35mm camera system, you'd need to get a big case of equipment, something like this. Or you could get a Ricoh Mirai, a complete SLR camera system in one neat package. A power zoom lens from 35 to 135mm, autofocus, exposure, flash, digital program readout, and of course, manual program shift. The Ricoh Mirai. For the first time, a complete SLR package in a camera, not a case.
Late last summer, Peter Dale had to make recommendations to his chairman on his company's office accommodation for the next 5 years. Earlier that month, Peter met with the best people in property, Jones Lang Wootton. JLW prepared a complete portfolio of suitable properties backed up by the latest research and market analysis and assisted with the presentation.
Jones Lang Wootton.
In property, you don't have to hope for the best. Expect it. From Jones Lang Wootton.
Geelong had led by 3 points at quarter time and 10 points at half time, but the Demons kicked 6-4 to 3-1 in the third quarter to lead at the last change by 11 points, mainly due to that 65-metre goal by Gary Lyon, which gave them a big lift going into the final term. The crowd was on the edge of their seats for the last quarter. We pick it up at the opening bounce.
Melbourne leading by 11 points, 93 to 82. Let's see who can hang on. Tap out by Gary Hocking. Newport. Kick slews off the side. Crashing his way through Lovett, who's played pretty well across that half-back line all day. The punch away. Finishes with Flintoff. Off to Yates. Yates, the left foot kick into the pocket. Lyon and Rogers. Rogers just gets the ball away from the Melbourne player. Buse gets through and gets his kick away. Back towards centre wing. Punch away by Stoneham is good play. White was under pressure. Swooping on at Bairstow. Bairstow's kick towards full forward. No mark to Lindner. Look, 3 Melbourne players back there. Johnson gets the hand pass. Hughes under pressure. Dersma does well. Forced to kick with the left quickly. Over the top. Oh, what a mark.
What a great
Flintoff.
mark. Oh. Gee, I'm really impressed with this player, Ann.
Good player, David Flintoff. He's done pretty well all day long. Playing on Paul Couch. Up towards half forward. Couch is caught. So is Grinter. Well pinned. Stephen Hocking shrugs the tackle and gets the kick away. Back towards centre half forward. Geelong mark, Brownless. Perhaps a little too far out to score, but I wouldn't put anything past this guy. I've seen him kick some magnificent goals. 4 goals to his credit so far. The drop punt kick will land in the square. Stoneham's kept out of it, but look at this! Athleticism! Goal to Stoneham!
Well, you called it, Ian. Great athleticism by Barry Stoneham. Just too quick there for Danny Hughes on the rebound. And that's exactly what you want from a forward. Recovery like that as he contested the ball in the air. Came to ground. A good kick from Brownless to set that up for Geelong. Contest there. He was outnumbered, Stoneham. Just kept his eyes on the ball, recovered more quickly, and a fine snapshot. Bill Brownless has been good value since he's been on it every quarter.
Amazing stuff. He's kicked 4 goals and spent quite a bit of time on the interchange bench, particularly in the first and second quarters.
O'Dwyer wins in the middle. Comes to foot. Buse just gets it out. Only as far as Johnson. On the chest of Schultz. Crowd calling for 50, but nothing there. So 1 kick the difference again. Melbourne by 5 points. Schultz to half forward. Stoneham. It clears him. Well done by Graham Yates. Rather, Mark Yates. Too many Yateses on the field. Stephen Hocking. Thumped out by Dersma. Good defence. And the ball out of bounds about 25 metres around from the behind post.
Yeah, perfect defensive punch there by Jamie Dersma.
Another chance for the Cats. Burke in ruck against O'Dwyer. And help from Wilson, who goes for the boundary line again. Might be a bit early to defend a 5-point lead.
Yes, they're not far enough in front, surely, Melbourne, and they've got to play some attacking football. Don't quite know whether they need to do it from half-back. The boundary throw in, right, half-forward flank area. Newport gets the Demons out of trouble, kicks the ball back towards the wing. Yates just able to get his left foot to the ball before Stephen Hocking did the tackling. Steins over the top. Todd Viney tries to flip it back, and Hughes gathers well. Good play by Danny Hughes. Kick towards half forward. Morgan A Lion soccer tactics to Jackson, and Jackson, oh, it's close, no, just misses to the left. And Ricky Jackson, 2 goals, 3, has been a creditable performer for the Demons.
Tim Darcy, the state fullback, kicks in. And Rogers finds himself 20 metres in the clear. Goes wide for Brownless, who has a break on Lovett. Brownless at half-back. Oh, the hand pass out into open spaces to nobody. Wilson for Melbourne. Caught by Couch. Holding the ball for 2 number 7s.
Yeah, good decision. Holding the ball before he's infringed too high, so stick with the first decision.
And Wilson still down and getting some treatment. Couch goes on with the football. 55-metre kick. Stoneham. Punch from behind, comes to Jackson. Whips away the hand pass. Grinter. Jackson again. Flintoff to Grinter. High kick. Close to the boundary line. Looks like they're signalling for a stretcher for Wilson. Boss taps out. Schultz. Dead heat there. Morgan loses it to Viney. Viney sweeps the hand pass up to centre half forward. Newport. Short pass is good. Bennett not quite, but he's got the ball in front of him. Oh, it took a long time. Just gets it away. Chance here. Newport again, but offline for a behind.
Well, it was cleverly done by Darren Bennett. He couldn't get his hand out to handball. And quick kick there found Newport, who just missed. But their chances, Melbourne.
Darcy to kick the ball back into play. We've had a crowd of nearly 39,000 fans here to watch this game. Kick finds Rogers. Rogers in short, Buse. Geelong outside 50 metres. Buse handball is pretty good. Ablett's on the end of it. Ablett's got a player. Damien Burke. Burke now thumps away towards centre half forward. The high kick. Oh, Linda from behind can't mark. Scott can't get through. White's pulled off the ball. Look at the tackling. It's fierce. It pins players. And they've got no chance of getting out with that football.
Geez, some of the best exhibitions of tackling I've seen all year. Desperate on both sides.
Brian Wilson has overruled the doctor. Melbourne doctor was out there and was bringing Wilson off, and he shrugged him off like an opponent, went back into the fray.
Hughes gets the ball out for the Demons. Great gather by Lovett. Hand pass to Wilson. He fumbles. Just gets the half handball, half throw away to Lovett. Out wide, half forward flank, and a spectacular mark. It's been paid. Great effort there by Rogers. Now he's being asked to go back and kick over the man on the mark. And Andrew Rogers, who could not break into the Essendon side early in the season, playing well for Geelong in defence. The kick out wide. It goes over the top. Bairstow swoops on it. Short pass by Bairstow. Ablett running into goal. Gary Ablett, a long bomb. Just misses through for a behind.
And the Geelong players in the square saying, kick it to the point of the square, wide blaze away. They're quite rightly saying that. Earl Spalding and Brett Bailey, sure they'd love to be out there.
Now it's one kick the difference again. Melbourne by 6 points. Geelong beat them by 69 points just 5 weeks ago. Oh, Dwyer, what a mark. On that day, Melbourne managed just 2 goals. Today it's 14 goals apiece. At the back, Schultz. Up to half forward, big pack. O'Dwyer, well placed. Burke couldn't get back there to spoil him.
2 good marks, that's what they need him to do.
Stephen O'Dwyer keeps it low for Newport. Bairstow chimes to the front. Comes to Couch. Puts it wide for Lindner. Not quite. He's outnumbered 3-1 here, Bruce Lindner. Loses control of it. Comes to Gary Lyon, who's been all over the park. And he's knocked over behind the play after he got rid of it by Brownless. Be a relayed free kick, but Melbourne have got it anyway. Sean White goes for a gallop. White to centre half forward. All Geelong at the back. Boss
transfers play straight into the centre. And by gee whiz, Mark Bairstow, you don't know how good that mark really was. Bairstow at half back. High kick over wing. No mark. sweeping on it, Ablett. Oh, he tries to crash his way through. Surely you should be penalised for that.
My word. Great courage by Brent Lovett to initiate the tackle first and the follow-up tackle from Grinter. Ablett took them on, but wasn't good enough.
And the umpire telling Rodney Grinter just to cool it ever so slightly. The kick towards the wing. Great pay by Steve Hocking. Gets it to Stoneham, but Stoneham's left-hand hand pass was a little short. Bairstow breaks clear. Kicks with the right foot high. Ablett and Danny Hughes. Ball comes to the back, Steve Hocking. Scott's a chance. Phoebe, the tackler. The ball comes out now. Ricky Jackson finds space. Flintoff, Newport. Demons now in control. Newport's kick finds Johnson. Johnson running up towards half forward, looking to draw a player. Bounces again. The player's on his own. It's Viney at centre half forward. Viney goes for goal. It might bounce through. No, he's hooked it. And Darcy helps it through for a behind to Melbourne.
Goodness me, I wonder if he was trying to pass, trying to kick the ball to the square and let it run through, but he made a mess of that. Well set up and a great knock on down here on the halfback flank by Danny Hughes. Great, desperate stuff.
Gee, that was a golden opportunity for the Demons. Tim Darcy wide for Scott. Scott floats the hand pass, bit of trouble for Morgan. Back to Scott. He beats the tackle. It was important there. Got away from Greg Healy. Brownless. Oh, good mark.
Gary Lyon's been moved back by John Northey, Drew, to pick up Brownless, who's been dangerous.
Kick by Brownless to Bruns at half forward. He wants to go on quickly. On the turn, Lindner. At the back, a chance for Gary Hocking. It didn't quite come to him cleanly. Trouble for Melbourne. They're diving at the ball, and the umpire will have to ball it up just outside the square.
Tell you what, they were so desperate. That ball had it spilled free. There was a couple of Geelong players waiting to swoop.
So the bounce is right in front of the Geelong goal. They trail by 7 points. There hasn't been much in this game all day long. Burke down to Scott. The ball spills out to Phoebe's. Tackled well by Buse. And the umpire, only 4 metres from that incident, decides you were pinned fairly. You had no real chance to get it out, so I'll bounce it. About 25 metres out from the Geelong goal. Greg Healy gets his kick out. Chance for Couch. Goes back onto the right foot. Couch's neat little chip pass finds Brownless 60 metres from goal. And Brownless, Newport can't mark. Johnson there to give him a hand. And Johnson's clearing kick back into the centre. Good play by Steins to punch it away. Schultz, strong play by Jackson. Demons out of it. Steins to Wilson. Wilson, no.
Got to go back.
Go back.
While that's happening, Ian, Simon Isold on for Melbourne. Graham Yates off.
Quick kick out by the Melbourne player finds Johnson. Johnson at half forward. Short pass is good. And Bennett takes the mark between centre half forward and full forward. A real chance for a Melbourne goal.
Yes, he must steady, take his time. Good pass. Crucial goal, this.
He'd be about 40 metres from goal. Kick, he's pulled it a little bit, and it's another behind. So Melbourne, really, if they lose it, they would have to blame their shots for goal.
Yep, 3 goals for there, 3 goals for to Darren Bennett. A total of 14 goals, 13. Far more inaccurate than Geelong, 14-5.
And Bennett kicked 5 goals last week. If he kicked 5 here today, Melbourne might nearly have wrapped this up by now. Ablett climbs high but can't take the mark. He's after it again. Bruns drops it in a tackle, comes to Healy, threads out the hand pass to Johnson. Johnson goes for goal, and he's missed as well. A fight on behind play. Mr. Bruns and Eichhold, who's just come on the ground. So Darcy kicks in, goes straight up the centre looking for Burke. And he doesn't let him down with a good mark, the skipper. No, it's Stoneham, actually. Stoneham at halfback. Out to the wing. Schultz from behind. What a mark!
Eyes on the ball all the way.
It was only Johnson in front, but he did get high. Comes back to Bruns. Straight up the centre. Lindner shrugs off an opponent. Brownless climbs high. Great roving by Scott. He backs himself, beats a couple of tacklers, hooks it back. Yates in the goal square. Outnumbered 3-1, and it's rushed through by the Melbourne defence.
Great punch by Danny Hughes again. And I just wonder whether I would have moved if I was John Northey, Gary Lyon out of attacking the defence. I'd rather try and attack and win the game than try and save it.
It certainly is an admission that you're a bit concerned about the Geelong forwards, isn't it?
Yep.
Danny Hughes' kick in towards half-back. Looking out there for Steins. Swooping on it, Melachellis. Gary Hocking's well pinned. A tap on by Lovett. Gives Newport the chance. The ball very close to the boundary line. Newport's attempted kick. Melachellis fighting hard for Geelong, and the umpire will come in and bounce it. We're more than halfway through this last quarter, and Melbourne clinging on ever so grimly to a slender advantage. They lead by 8 points. The ball kicked out towards the wing. Todd Viney running onto it. Jackson, he overruns it. Eishold, tackled by Steve Hocking. Geelong defenders get back pretty quick. It's Boss. Boss's kick back towards the wing, but a good safe mark taken there by Alan Johnson, and his last quarter has been commendable so far. He plays on quickly and finds Todd Viney just outside 50 metres. The short pass is on. It's Eishold. Eishold, left foot kick. Okay. Luck's a fortune. Bennett marks 20 metres from goal.
Yes, I think he may have been trying to have a shot for goal there in his tied state, just having contested fairly heavily a minute ago with a couple of Geelong players. Found Darren Bennett. The advantage then of Bennett being in front.
So Bennett for goal number 4, and this one he kicks.
That's it. Had enough. I understand you've worked all your life and you can't afford a holiday.
Where do you want to go?
Anywhere but here.
Okay, let's do it.
What with?
Read this.
You've got this much? We've got this much? How did we do this?
It's called savings, Dan. Remember savings comes before spending.
Bit of interest.
Every day of the year.
I can't take this. You saved it. It's your money.
No, it's our money, Dan.
For a minimum deposit of $50, a State Bank investment account allows you to watch your money grow while you earn high interest calculated daily, and your money's at call.
Seems a shame to spend it.
I'm sure you'll think of something.
State Bank investment account. We never forget. It's your money.
This is Anytown, and this is Jack, Anytown's handyman.
G'day.
Jack and his Nissan Navara have had a busy week. Monday, there was a brush with the law. Tuesday, a constructive engagement. Wednesday, a run on the stock market. Thursday and Friday positively flew by. This weekend, Jack's going fishing with the boys. And that's just another job his Navara has covered.
Because that's a hard-working truck.
That's Nissan know-how.
If you want an aftershave that's a winner, go for Gold. Yardley Gold. The aftershave for men who like to win. Yardley Gold.
Bird, bird, bird. Bird is a word. Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird. Bird is the word. Oh, well, don't you know about the bird? Well, everybody knows that bird is the word.
We are going to present for you next Monday the first Christmas television special for the year.
I am so excited!
We're going to do an old English panto for you.
Fabulous. Join the celebration presented by Jenny Craig Weight Loss Centres.
Bird is the word.
Steins with a big run at Stoneham and beats him. Oh, crashed into the umpire. Off the ground by Wilson to full forward. Darcy backed himself and sprinted from full back. Morgan had a touch of the fumbles. Jackson robs him. Jackson out in front of himself. Ricky Jackson. Darcy gets him. Jackson gets the hand pass away to Healy. He's pulled off it. Darcy there again. Good tackling by Melbourne on the forward line. And a ball up near the behind post.
Again, some great tackling, wasn't there? Really, Drew, as you called it. It's been on all day.
Well, I must admit I've been guilty of underestimating Melbourne all season. Some of their wins haven't been all that conclusive, but they have wins on the board. And if they beat Geelong, they'll move ahead of them on the ladder today into second spot. And with a percentage not much over 100, that's a remarkable performance.
Just one thing, Drew, in this tight finish, Geelong have bombed away, up forward, instead of chipping it around.
Bennett won that tap. Be hard to get a clear kick out of here. Oh, Hawking gave it straight to Wilson, who kicked the goal.
Well, Brian Wilson certainly has recovered. He's sprinting nearly 400 metres just to take the advantage of all his teammates' raps. But a bit of a mistake there by Geelong defence in Hawking, trying to punch it clear. Punched to the open space, but straight to Brian Wilson, who's sitting off that pack. See, the ball comes in the air again. The big punch out coming from Hawking. Could have gone close to the boundary line, hit at the end of the square. Brian Wilson unmanned, and I'm sure he's recovered from that knock to the head.
Demon supporters ecstatic. Malcolm Blight very pensive. Got some problems there, Malcolm, as his team trails by 20 points with just 10 minutes left. The bounce favours Steins. He thumps it towards centre half forward. Rogers gathers well for Geelong, and the left foot kick wide. Yates leads Hughes. Hughes perhaps interfering. Play on, says the umpire. Johnson swoops on it. Great player, Alan Johnson. And in the tight finishes, he is always a productive unit for the Demons. Down on the boundary line, Michael Roberts has a report on Damien Burke.
Yes, Damien Burke limped off, and the reason for that is that he's had ice applied just above his right knee.
Rogers, a hand pass into Couch. The Cats need 4 goals in the last 9.5 minutes to win. White, tackled by Malakellus, puts him under pressure, and the ball goes out of play. Well, Melbourne at this stage would be happy to see the ball out, and the more it's in the hands of the boundary umpire, the more they'll like it. Now, Geelong, last week in the last quarter, kicked 12 goals 6. It was an absolute avalanche against the Bears. And they need to produce something like that, a mini version of it now, to get up and win. White takes the mark just behind the wing. Goes out wide, had a choice of 2 players, and the skipper, Greg Healy's got it. Slowing things right down. Now he goes long and high to half forward. Bennett thumps on, Eishold. Good play by Melbourne. Jackson out wide. And hasn't Johnson covered some ground in this last quarter? Burke and Wills.
It's very good disciplined performance by the Demons. They really have just kept scratching away at the Cats all day long. Couch. Morgan goes off to Steve Hawking. Steve Hawking kicks it out wide, but Lovett bumps his opponent Bruns off the ball. Does it pretty well, Brett Lovett. Somehow gets it out to Hughes. He's caught. The ball still in the centre. Newport off to Brett Lovett. He's well tackled by Couch. Now the ball will get clear through Stoneham. Stoneham sweeping hand passes to the advantage of Bruns. Bruns now kicks the Cats up towards half forward, and a Geelong mark taken there by Brownless about 60 metres from goal. Billy Brownless doesn't quite know whether he wants to have a big ping at them. Now he's going for the big torpedo. Gets onto it, into the square, punched away by Steins, punched away again there by Grinter and Phoebe, through for a rush behind of the Cats.
Well, Bill Brownless there really upset his other forwards. There was space there when he first took the mark, got back quickly. Ablett led, and he just waited and waited, and it was by the time he got the ball to boot, too late.
Melbourne's defence has been very disciplined in rushing those behinds, which were crucial. Newport around the boundary line. Steve Hawking, who gave away a goal to Wilson a moment ago. He's caught in this tackle. Play on, says the umpire. Mark Yates, he's caught in a great tackle. Again, play on. Brownless is there. Now the umpire comes in and will ball it up. And the applause for Gary Lyon. His tackle just about worthy of a free kick. Just inside the line, centre wing. Time running out for Geelong. Steins goes for the boundary and finds it. Under 7 minutes left.
Demon supporters urging their team on. They've really played magnificently here this afternoon. Buse gets the ball out. No mark. At the back, there's a chance for Brownless. He goes long with the drop punt. This might bounce through. It does.
Andrew Gaze here, a few tips on how to play a new ball game. It's called the BP Big Ball Game, and it's on right now at your BP service station. You can win an interstate trip for two to watch the second NBL final, including airfares and accommodation. Plus, there's hundreds of local NBL tickets to be won. So, play the game to win. Enter the BP Big Ball Game at participating BP service stations, but hurry, it's big!
BP, on the move.
If you want a high return investment without any hidden charges, try a state mortgage. High returns, nice and safe.
There's only one top-selling Australian small car that gives you a lively 1.6-litre engine, 5-speed manual transmission, hatchback, and AM/FM cassette stereo. Ford Laser GL hatch at just $13,990. It's almost too good to be real.
I don't smoke. It's the only way to stay ahead of the game.
Quitters are winners. Quitters are ahead. Because when you quit, you're ready and fit to let your body do its best. Let your body do its best.
It could be serious.
But who do I call out here at this hour?
He's got a clot in his leg again. I want to get him home somehow.
Great start to the honeymoon. The car's been nicked. And the bags.
Aussie Assist, how can we help you?
The tension mounts at Royal Troon as the greatest golfers in the world continue the battle for the big one. The British Open, tonight on 7.
What drove him to commit atrocities more bizarre than even the Charles Manson murders?
Never kill good people.
Shadow of the Cobra on 7.
Here's the Tats 2 results, just drawn under government supervision.
Now 13 points the difference and 6.5 minutes left. Geelong might be close enough to get up. Steve Hocking palms down to Boss. Kick off the side of the boot. Malakillis after this one. Good gather. Hand pass back to Gary Hocking. Cats breaking from the wing. Great kick by Hocking round the corner to Lindner. Too far out to score. Goes for the sweeping hand pass across the half-forward line to Yates. Yates short pass to Couch.
Well, it's one of the few times that Paul Couch has been able to break away from David Flintoff, but a very clever kick coming from Mark Yates, having received the ball, the long handball from Bruce Lydon, who I thought could have gone back and kicked long, but it may pay off.
This to put the Cats within 7 points. And he's kicked it.
Well, that's his second goal, Paul Couch. As I mentioned, he has been very well held by his standards by David Flintoff, who's also been very productive for Melbourne, but a crucial goal there, and a good opportunity now, as Drew called it. There's still time to come back into this game, and he's 7 points the difference, and a good straight kick there, as we saw in replay by Paul Couch.
And Ross, tremendous emphasis now on this centre bounce.
Yes, very crucial, and direct football, and straight through, straight down the corridor.
So the Cats still in the game. They trail by 7 points. O'Dwyer over the top. Healy can't break away, and we'll have another bounce.
John Northey's now moved Jim Steins onto Bill Brownless. Gary Lyon back to centre-half forward.
O'Dwyer and Stoneham. The ball comes out wide. Geelong are in with a chance here. Yates gets the hand pass back to Boss. Boss looks further upfield. Geelong mark Malakillis. Move it on quickly, son. That's how you've got the last two. Malakillis up towards full forward. Ablett can't mark. Punched away. Newport for Melbourne. The kick wide. Wilson somehow on his own. Centre wing. You'll be caught. No, he won't. He gets the hand pass off. Greg Healy after one bounce. Kicks up towards full forward. Chance for the Cats to get clear. Fletcher drops the mark. Gets the hand pass off to the experienced Boss. Now the Buse. Back it goes to Schultz. Schultz's kick will be marked by O'Dwyer. He plays on quickly. Kicks the Demons up towards full forward. Bennett can't mark. Darcy first to recover. Maybe he'll hurry you behind. Yes, he will.
Ooh.
He had the fumbles.
Ooh. And they had to bounce either side of him, and Darren Barnett could have got a boot to it very quickly and put it through for a goal.
Well, in a close finish, it's worth remembering all Melbourne's close wins, but Geelong's close losses. Their 3 losses this year have been by 1 point, 2 points and 8 points. Bruns up to centre wing. Brownless. Punch away by Steins. Nest of Geelong players. Fletcher. Off the left boot. Great kick. Gary Hocking. Half forward flank. He centres. Pops it high. Oh, Lindner interfering, and the mark taken by Dersma. Not a great kick by Hocking.
Didn't give his teammates much chance at all.
When Brownless moved down the field, they were certainly short at centre half forward then.
3 minutes 40 remaining. 7 points the difference. No, it's 8 points the difference now. Couch, who kicked the last goal for the Cats. Yates slides away the hand pass. Running onto it is Bruns. Bruns to full forward. Ablett. Punched by Grinter. Grinter follows up. Well played by Rodney Grinter. Back to centre wing. All Melbourne. O'Dwyer.
O'Dwyer's hand pass to Lyon, who taps it onto himself. Good play by Gary Lyon. Looked like being tackled. The kick towards half forward, and a great mark taken by Boss. He hand parts it off. Rogers elects to go straight across the ground. Darcy usually runs pretty well with the ball. He's forced to kick. It's a beautiful kick because Bruns will mark it. Wasn't much space there, but the precision kick by Darcy, perfect. Bruns out wide. Bairstow, he'll have to run with it because there are only 2.5 minutes left and they need 2 goals to win the game. Bairstow goes for the torpedo punt kick in towards centre half forward. No mark. Play on. Steins kicks it back into the centre. Melbourne nearly a mark to Lyon. Johnson off to Newport. Demons out of trouble. Kick it up towards half forward. The pressure now on the Geelong defence again. Down goes Fletcher. Steve Hocking. Back it goes. Todd Viney in towards Johnson. The hand pass a little severe. Schultz gets it back. Look at the pressure on these players who are all obviously very tired. A big crunch between Viney and Melakalis. The ball kept in at centre half forward for the Demons.
Great contest there by Todd Viney. He had to go hard. He had 3 Geelong plays. He took the lot on and finished up with the ball.
Under 2 minutes remaining. Stoneham, but it's intercepted by Lyon. Up to half forward. Johnson goes down, spills out to Steve Hocking. Hocking's kick to centre wing. White in front. Couldn't quite drag down the mark. It's ripped out of his grasp. Stoneham. Chance for the Cats now. Scott. Hand pass is not good. Lucks of fortune. Couch. Back to Malakalis. High left footer. Brownless with the sit. And in front, what a mark by Lindner. He plays on. Ablett. Ablett into an open goal.
Well, geez, they made hard work of that, but clever play there by Lindner. I was going to criticise him for playing on, but as it turned out, he had space, but he also knew that Ablett was in the square by himself. Got Grinner caught about 5 metres in front of Ablett, and a good kick coming from Lindner. Found Ablett in space, who did well to play on. Set up by Couch. Melakalis' kick was untidy. Scott was out to the right of screen. He didn't see him. Good mark to Lindner in the first place. Just kicked the ball in time. Well finished.
Tremendous play by Geelong. Well, if the Cats can pinch this, they've got something to work on in 1989. O'Dwyer, Healy can't get out. Wilson can. Kick towards half-forward Lyon. Oh, leaving it behind is Viney. Lyon still got a chance. Wilson, you'll be caught. No, he gets the hand pass out wide. Johnson just hits his shin. Where are the Geelong defenders? Bairstow. Dean. Bairstow again. And the ball is kept in by the Melbourne players. We've gone down below a minute. So can the Demons hang on? The ball at centre half forward for Melbourne.
40 seconds remaining. Geelong at the wrong end of the ground for them. And a ball up will use up more time. What a great game it's been. A worthy game, 2nd and 3rd on the ladder. John Northey at ground level. Johnson for Melbourne on the 50-metre line. Won't score. Still a chance for Bennett. He taps in. Viney drops it in the tackle. 10 seconds left. It's a score to Melbourne. 3 points the difference, and that'll be the finish of it. Kick in by Darcy. Straight up the centre. There's the siren. A remarkable game. Geelong's first loss for 10 rounds. Their 4 losses this year have been by 1 point, 2 points, 3 points and 8 points. And for the 7th time this year, Melbourne have won a match by under 2 goals. For Melbourne, Bennett and Lyon both kicked 4 goals and Healy kicked 3. And for Geelong, Lindner kicked 6 and Brownless kicked 5. And so important was the victory that Melbourne moved ahead of Geelong on the competition ladder and moved into 2nd place. Well, there's more football coming up in round 16, 1 match tonight and 2 tomorrow. Soon we'll be going to Peterlandy at Carrara to talk about tonight's match between the Bears and St Kilda.
Nobody knows Melbourne like 7. 7 nightly news knows Melbourne.
My time is very precious, so I need a news service that's concise and to the point.
I get the feeling that Sandy, Landy and Drew love their sport as much as we do.
I think credibility is very important, but so is innovation.
Nobody knows Melbourne like 7.
This is Anytown, and this is Jack, Anytown's handyman.
G'day.
Jack and his Nissan Navara have had a busy week. Monday, there was a brush with the law. Tuesday, a constructive engagement. Wednesday, a run on the stock market. Thursday and Friday positively flew by. This weekend, Jack's going fishing with the boys. And that's just another job his Navara has covered.
Because that's a hard-working truck.
That's Nissan know-how.
Sorry. You know how it is. It's a bit wet over there. Bit wet over here, too. Let me get some drinks.
No, let me. Waiter, drinks all round.
Well, if we're going to make a party of it, let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
Sorry.
You want to be out there wearing hot sweatshirts now. You want to be seen out there wearing hot sweatshirts. Wow! 'Cause you feel so fine. Think they're staring at what you're wearing. Hot sweatshirts. Wearing hot sweatshirts. Wearing hot sweatshirts.
If you want high security but lower returns, try a bank. If you want high returns and high security, try Estate Mortgage. Estate Mortgage. High returns. Nice and safe.
There's one luxury car in Europe that's running circles around the others. With the German Quattro all-wheel drive system you won't find in Mercedes. And with Germany's only fully galvanized body shell you won't find in BMW. Now Europe's largest selling prestige car has arrived. Audi. You'll find you're moving in the best of circles.
Last week the Bears turned on the lights at Carrara and the Bears went down to Geelong. Well, there's another night game up there. There's a new coach. Everything's different, but the lights are on again tonight. And Peter Landy's up at Carrara. Good evening, Pete.
Good evening, Drew. New commentators as well, mate.
Yes.
Well, I can tell you that there's no changes in the respective sides. It's not a bad night weather-wise here. A little bit on the cool side, much cooler than I expected. But, of course, the talking point here, Drew, as you can well imagine, is the situation regarding Peter Knights. I guess both coaches have, well, been in the news lately. Darryl Bullock announced that he's going back to Tasmania, and this is the man that's going to be coaching the Bears for the first time tonight. Former North Melbourne Premiership wingman Paul Feltham. And he took over during the week in, shall we say, somewhat dramatic circumstances from Peter Knights, who's been in charge of the club here since it was formed some 2 or 3 years back. So he certainly has the job ahead of him tonight. I guess both clubs do too, because they've both got a bit to prove. They've both lost their last 5 matches. They've been competitive in quarters, Drew, as we both know, but not throughout whole games, haven't they?
Well, that's right. Have you had any feeling up there from supporters or people around the place about what they think of Peter Knights' sacking?
Absolutely flabbergasted, Drew. Stunned. Any other word you can possibly think of. They're a little bit quiet around the ground here at the moment as they watch the reserves game, but I guess nonetheless hoping for a Bears victory.
Well, Paul Feltham's got the job ahead of him because really with just 7 rounds to go, he can't really do much for the rest of the season, can he?
Well, he's got everything to lose as I see it, and perhaps very little to gain. I mean, if he does win a few matches, terrific. But the Bears, as we know, can't make the 5, and I think the general feeling here, Drew, is that Peter Knights at least should have been given the rest of the season, and then perhaps the powers that be should have sat down and talked with him. Anyway, that's history now, but Paul Feltham's in charge of the side tonight, and, well, it'll be interesting to see how they perform.
Yes, it will, and of course St Kilda tonight without Tony Lockett. I wonder, what's your feeling? How do you think the Bears would react themselves? Will they fold like a pack of cards or lift?
Well, we've got one full forward in. We've got Warwick Kappa. St Kilda, of course, without Rod Owen and Tony Lockett. They're missing a lot of marking power up forward. And I think it's going to be a good night for forwards too, because the ground is pretty firm and conditions not too bad for football. So the Bears with the job ahead of them, I think it's going to be a pretty even game.
Good on you, Pete. We'll look forward to hearing from you straight after the replay tonight at 7:30. OK, straight into our next match for replay tonight, and it's another match involving 2 teams in the 5. Top team Hawthorn against the 5th team Collingwood. Collingwood lost their last 2 matches, and if they lose again today, well, they're opening the door to North Melbourne to knock on the door to the top 5. The game at Princes Park, and we pick it up in the first quarter. There's just under 10 minutes to go in the first quarter, and at this stage, Collingwood leading by a goal. Commentators are Dennis Cometti and Don Scott.
Collingwood lead by 6 points. We're back in the middle. That's a better bounce. Barwick an opportunity with the run of the ball. Varousilakis gets it out. Whitman to Platten. Platten goes long to the forward line. Dunstall's in front. Well done by McEwen to fist away. Brereton dragged off the kick. Gave for an opportunity. Body's going in solidly down there. Hawke gets it across to McEwen. Varousilakis nicely done. Mullane's away. Well played, Collingwood. Mullane out of the back pocket. Members side with a kick. It's taken by Starcevic. Mullane runs on. He's got it now between the lines. Sweeping hand pass to accommodate Christian. Christian another one out wide. Great run by Collingwood. Brown, it needs a mark now. Manson's the target, but the mark is taken by Langford. Great transference of the ball, the length of the ground by Collingwood, but denied by Langford. It goes towards the outer side. Curran was he held. Sockers intelligently into the path of this man Platten. The champ gets it back. So Hawthorn come down the outer side. Curran goes down. Hawthorn still with a run of it. There goes the kick down towards full forward. Not a particularly good one. It comes to Dunstall, though. Dunstall 30 metres out. Great snap. Goal.
And what a great passage of play. We saw Collingwood taking it up around the members' wing, and then it was Hawthorn around the outer wing. Great passage of play, and this crowd certainly warming to the state of play. There was Curran being spoken to and reported, so 2 reports coming out of this game.
I'm not sure he was reported. I think he was on the other end of it, Don. What a great transference down the outer side by Hawthorn. McGuinness was the man who booted it in. It came off hands, and Dunstall, great snap. Collingwood, as Don said, down one side of the ground, and Hawthorn rebounding down the other. Marvellous stuff. Dia wins it down. Monkhurst tries to scramble it forward. Alexander runs into a brick wall and will have a ball up.
Well, Collingwood playing with plenty of feeling, maybe a little indiscriminate as far as their tackling is concerned. 2 players obviously reported. Ron McEwen was the first to go. Monkhurst, Deer. It's Deer who got it out. Pritchard under a lot of duress. Varousilakis. And the umpire will bring it back, and I think we'll have to go back to Pritchard against Kelly.
And Kelly's very lucky there too.
Oh, well, it's a high one, but Pritchard playing on quickly. Got the loose man in Condon centre. Now they've got the loose man running. This doesn't look good for Collingwood. It's Schwab. Schwab short. And what a great pass and mark by Dunstall. Great lead pass by Schwab. There was no way known that McEwen, Dunstall's opponent, could punch this ball away. That was classic passing. A real worm cutter. Now Dunstall directly in front. When he connects with the ball, will be on the 50-metre line. Scores locked away, 19 points apiece as Dunstall shoots for his second, and it is Hawthorn's fourth. A great passage of play, and the crowd certainly getting involved now. Bad tackle by Craig Kelly, gave it to Pritchard. Pritchard then found the loose man in Condon, who got it across to Schwab, and what a magnificent pass by Peter Schwab. Good running by the Hawthorn side because Schwab playing at half back.
Very entertaining game, this one. Hawthorn lead now by 6 points. 5 lead changes already. Dia knocked on by Whitman. There's the time remaining, taken by Christian, pushed off the kick. Hawks got it now to Turner. Turner goes towards centre wing. Great courage shown by Schwab. Alexander arriving a step late. It comes across to Ayres towards half forward. Curran in from the side, but a strong mark is taken by Christian. Michael Christian. Half back. Towards centre wing. Off hands, it falls to Starcevic. Was he carried forward in the tackle? Not according to the umpire. Kelly gets it away to Brown, to Alexander. He's in deep trouble. Manages the hand pass to Renstead, who pulls it back. Dacos is down there, got a hand to it. Dippia Domenico roving the pack. Across the ground. Pritchard can't keep it in play. We'll have a boundary throw in on the 50-metre line.
Pritchard in two minds then, whether he'd keep it in play or disguise it and take it over the boundary line. It's gone over the boundary line, ball to be thrown in. Collingwood's right forward flank, right on the 50-metre line. Dear Monkhurst. Mullane can't control it. Ayres to ground. Kelly in over the top, and the umpire Peter Carey will have to come in and bounce down 60 metres from the Collingwood goal square. Just over 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. 25 Hawthorn playing Collingwood 19. Monkhurst down. Hawke quickly onto his boot, smothered. Mullane, Pritchard. No option but high. Morrissey in front. Tuck can't control it. Looking for runners. Found one. McGuinness. Now they've got the loose man. Good running by Langford, the full back across to Anderson. Now Dunstall on the lead. McEwen can't judge the ball. The open goal. Dunstall's third. Hawthorn's fifth. And great running by Chris Langford to set that up from the full back line. Got the ball on the wing. And he was the man responsible for creating the loose man for Hawthorn. And the finisher off on that occasion, Dunstall with his third. Dean Anderson coming back into this side. Aren't they a magnificent passing team, the Hawthorn side? McEwen just underneath that ball, in front, but just a little too far up the ground.
Jason Dunstall, 83 goals on the season now.
It's interesting, Dennis, the way they've matched up, and I find this fascinating in football, that Collingwood playing the two big guys in the forward pocket. But what is happening now is that Langford is now starting to run down the ground, exposing their weakness.
Yep. Brereton and Dunstall both in the goal square for Hawthorn at the present time. Dunstall coming on the lead. Brereton staying back for the long ball. Dippia Domenico tries to thump it forward. Ayres left it behind. Kelly to Manson. Manson goes long down towards full forward, ill-directed. And Langford gets across to take the mark. A rather untidy kick to the opposite pocket. Pritchard's got it. And Hawthorn once more have the numbers. Tuck under pressure. Great chase down there by Brown. Came to nothing. Hawthorn still work it forward. Anderson goes to ground. And we've got a whistle.
It's a good play there by Anderson, because had he have come up at that critical moment, Dacos bearing down on him could have cleaned him up. Showed good play, stayed down over the ball, waiting for and drawing Dacos and avoiding what could have been a very nasty clash.
If you'll pardon the pun, I don't think he got away scot-free anyway. Here's Kelly over the ball to Dacos. Starcevic. Out of bounds on the full in the right full forward pocket. That breeze is backed around a little now. It's almost directly across the ground. As McGuinness takes this kick out of the back pocket. Off hands, it falls to Platten. He's been very busy. Johnny Platten's away from half back towards the centre. Curran was pushed in the back, right in front of the umpire. Plays on quickly. And the umpire wants it back, of course. We heard the cry from Don Scott.
You think the players would learn now, wouldn't you, Dennis? This rule has now been in for quite some time.
Well, that was instinctive, wasn't it,
It
by
was.
Curran?
I mean, he saw the movement. He was directed to it. It's a free kick against Christian. The handball, he should have gone back for his kick.
And the blame must be divided equally amongst the man who hand passes and the man who calls for it. Probably the man who's been involved in the passage of play has more on his mind than the man who wants to receive the ball. Manson, a fist down towards half forward. Well done, Schwab. Collins left it behind. Mullane crashing through. Back it comes to Collins, taken high. No free kick. They're going in very solidly again. McGuinness, the hand pass to no one in particular. Shepherd's at the base of that, and there's no free kick. The umpire's going to ball it up. Umpire Clayton.
Someone nearly gets up minus a head. Darren Mullane a little indiscriminate with his kick on that occasion. Deer, Hawthorn pushing the ball forward into no man's land. Anderson in front of Hisalakis, gets it off quickly to Di Pierdomenico. Hawthorn look dangerous when they start to run the ball. Well cut off by Dacos, spinning, turning. Now they're running it. Hawk to Rinstead. Rinstead will go long, and he does. Langford in front of Monkhurst. Ball to ground. No one can get it out. And again, the umpire will have to come in as Gary Ayres holds the ball to Craig Kelly. The umpire bouncing 10 metres forward of the 50-metre line. Collingwood end. Deer, Manson gets it down. McGuinness, quick kick over his head. Condon, who is a very, very good player, and again a much improved player for Hawthorn in the centre, finds Platten. No options down further. He's got to go wide into open space. Curran leading Christian in the run for the ball. Good play there by Christian to put his body in. And will the umpire deem that deliberate? It was deliberate. He's been paid the benefit of the doubt, and the ball to be thrown in. Centre wing. Manson over the back. Di Pierdomenico, a high ball. Collingwood players running onto it, and it's Christian who takes it. Collingwood's left back flank. Michael Christian, named at centre half back, playing in the forward back pocket on Curran. Ball punched back over the boundary line, more or less in the identical position in which it was thrown in earlier.
Just over a minute remaining. In fact, less now as we look at the clock. In this first term, Hawthorn lead by 12 points, and Collingwood have thrown everything at them. Harusalakis threw it with the open hand. The ball came out off the ground there by Di Pierdomenico, went nowhere. Platten, socket off the ground by Tuck. Whitman in a trice gets it across to Morrissey, who goes goalward from 40. What a great goal.
And Jamie Morrissey's second goal, but is instinctive. I just thought as they work that ball down forward, the way they run past, it is now instinctive. It's obviously a training pattern they've got down there. The guys back one another up, and as soon as they do pick up the ball, as Whitman did, he knew instinctively that somebody was running past. On that occasion, it was Morrissey, and that's Jamie Morrissey's second goal.
Hawthorn out by 3 goals now, despite the best efforts of Collingwood. They've really gone hard at them. Deer wins it down. Christian leads in the race, socket away by Curran. There's the time remaining. Schwab coming to this ball. Valiant attempt to take the mark. Didn't succeed. Alexander on his knees. Harris out of it by Ayres, and the free kick, rather fortuitously, is going to Alexander. Forward of right centre wing. Goes in short towards the pocket. It was a well-weighted kick. Dacos has got it. The time the enemy now. Dacos with this ball at right half forward. Siren any moment. Centering kick from Dacos. Pack into the air, and the mark is taken down there by Deer. Deer out from the kickoff line. Comes Members' side. Morrissey. Well, has the siren gone? I don't think so. We haven't heard it. But according to our clocks, the quarter should be over. Good mark taken there by Whitman. Whitman, centering kick. Gets it across towards Ayres. Ayres the hand pass and turn to Condon. Condon over the top. Pritchard from 30 metres, another one for the Hawks.
Darren Pritchard.
Monday on a country practice.
For me, isn't it?
Is Lucy's past about to reshape her future?
As far as he's concerned, it's
It's on again.
An old romance rekindled.
I want to remind him what he gave up, don't I?
Is a confident doctor about to be bitterly disappointed?
I am taking away your best nurse, aren't I?
Will an old love take Lucy from Wandon Valley?
He's too slick.
Why are her friends so suspicious of him?
You're not going to make this easy for me, are you? I want you to marry me.
A Country Practice, 7:30 Monday on 7.
Oh, goodness gracious me, what a wonderful pie I am, all hot and spicy and beautiful.
Spicy Bombay curry. Tender turkey and cranberry. Chunky lamb paprika. 3 delicious new export pies, oven fresh from these 4 and 20 hot shops. You'll love them. Because while 4 and 20 have taken the pie out of Australia, they've taken none of the Australian out of the pie.
If you want a high return investment without any hidden charges, try a state mortgage. High returns, nice and safe.
Making the final 5 shouldn't be too hard. Getting to the grand final could be as simple as keeping your eyes on the game. And flying to any sporting event of your choice in the world could be as easy as packing your bags. Enter the Coca-Cola bottlers' final 5 countdown. Under the caps of specially marked bottles and inside specially marked cans of Coca-Cola, there's a league team waiting to help you win.
Activate CC, the cough silencer.
There's one luxury car in Europe that's running circles around the other.
We start the final term at Princes Park with Hawthorn leading by 55 points, 17-6 to 8-5. They've been so strong this afternoon. Strength that time from Manson towards half forward. It's knocked on by Shepherd, taken by Starcevic, 40 metres out from goal. And he sprays it well wide, out of bounds on the full in the right full forward pocket. A wayward kick from Craig Starcevic in keeping with the Magpies' afternoon.
Well, that was a good jump there by Manson to start the game off. He certainly did jump into the air and got the ball moving and then followed it up well. Just a bad kick by Starcevic, and there's a bit of a fight on between New and Starcevic.
There's the kick to the outer side from McGuinness. It falls behind a Pritchard. Hurried kick. Only as far as Dacos, who's tried pretty hard this afternoon. Dacos down towards right half forward. Goes for distance. It's a high one. Hawthorn have got the numbers at the fall of the ball. Platten, who's been a star, ties it up for Hawthorn.
A lot of bounce downs in today's game. And only attributed to the good tackling of both sides. And again, the ball being bounced down 40 metres from the Collingwood goal. It was Langford who got it down on that occasion. Alexander quickly onto it, screws it back across his body, but into no man's land. Schwab was the quick first onto it. Now trying to set it up. McGuinness across goal. McEwen in hot pursuit but can't catch him. Jenke, who's just come off interchange, set it up to Di Domenico. A quick kick in towards the centre. Morrissey tried to tap on but can't. Tuck over the ball. Can't control it. Then finally does. Langford running well down from the half-back line. Across to Curran. Curran back to Langford. This looks like he's got another one to Dunstall if he likes, but he doesn't. Gone Goldwood maybe. Could have put it across to Dunstall.
Anderson was on for the hand pass too in the middle.
So Hawthorn have moved 1 point further ahead. 17-7, 109. 8-5, 53.
Still defenders love to kick a goal. This is Hawke. McGuan from half-back towards centre wing. Manson.
It's an old-fashioned footballer in those long shorts, Dennis.
Yes, he does. Gaffer. They played some old-fashioned football this afternoon. Collingwood too. Renstead got it to Hawke. Knocked on by Dacos cleverly. Atkins from about 55 metres out. Long down towards full forward. McEwen couldn't hang on. Great tackle. And Collins forces the behind.
Great tackle. Well worked then by McEwen. And Hawthorn regrouping as they push that ball over the boundary line.
He took a great mark in the third quarter, just before three-quarter time, McEwen. Perhaps the grab of the round.
Ayres looking for Morrissey, well down from the half-forward flank. Morrissey in mercurial form in the first quarter has drifted out of the game, but that's Jamie Morrissey. Whitman quickly across to Schwab. Schwab going to that outer side. Collins, Shepherd in front of Collins on this occasion, but it's Collins. The ball bounces favourably for him. The youngster battles up well. Now going in towards centre half forward, but nobody home. Oh, it was, and coming late on the scene, Manson. Can he kick it? Accuracy a problem once again. As Manson late on the scene, then took the good mark, played on quickly, and Collingwood's 7th point. McGuinness to bring the ball in once again for Hawthorn. Nothing much offering from McGuinness's kick. It's Langford, high. Platten quickly onto it. He's got an option there in Collins. Will he give it across? No, he'll do it himself. Pass Collins. Onto the left foot. Curran further down the ground. Christian in hot pursuit. A good battle by those two. Honours maybe in favour of Curran as he kicks it off the ground. McGuan coming off into change. Changes direction of play right across the face of goal. Gayfer behind. Turner. He's been rather solid today, but the number of onslaughts that have come down his way, he had to crack sooner or later and has on a number of occasions. And again, the ball being tied up, and Peter Carey has got no alternative to bounce it down 40 metres from the Hawthorn goal.
Irresistible today, Hawthorn. Curran wins it down. Morrissey left it behind. McGuan falls on top of it. This is Tuck emerging with the ball about 45 metres out from goal. It's a very high kick. Dunstall is down there. Kelly almost the mark. It falls to Dippy at Domenico. The snapshot is wide of the mark, and through it goes for a behind. Too strong, too big, too fast,
and too skilled.
I knew I was missing something. Here's Turner. Members side.
Oh, great play, Curran.
Knocked it away from Mullane, who recovers well. Back it comes to Gayfer, to Hawke. He's at left half back. High kick towards centre wing. Manson, up he goes. Knocked away by Deer, taken by Renstead. Renstead thought about the hand pass. Kick isn't a particularly good one. Still, it came to Christian. He thought about hand passing to Christian initially. This is Alexander from 50. Long kick. McEwen, was he dragged down? Not according to the umpire. Yes, we've got a whistle. McEwen will get the free, only about 5 metres out.
That's fortunate for Collingwood that McEwen had the free kick, because Alexander had Shepherd out by himself, saw him, neglected to give the hand pass, which would have been a lay down his head because he would have run into an open goal. But the ball came, he decided to go long, McEwen in front. Unfortunate for Collingwood, he's paid the mark.
He's kicked free. That's his fourth.
And Ron McEwen has done well in that forward line. He's a big, strong fellow. I don't really blame him against Dunstall down the other end, because the ball has really been delivered very, very well to Dunstall. Kelly has had no opportunity, or very little opportunity, to punch the ball away because of the delivery of the ball. And McEwen likewise really couldn't do much. The problem is that midfield, but since McEwen has gone to that full forward position, has done well for Collingwood. Manson moved into the ruck in this last quarter. Monkhurst off the ground. He has lifted the ruck by jumping in a little bit. It was Deer on that occasion who jumped earlier. Deer followed up well, laying the tackle. Hawke. A quick kick down. Collins. Shepherd. Strong tackle there from behind by Shepherd. McEwen attacking the ball well, getting across with a good handball. Good running by Hawke. Rinstead off the bench. Can he make amends? Goes Goldwood on the left. But another point. The goal post, the problem for the Collingwood side.
Great gather by Paul Hawke, coming through the middle at full stretch. But bad luck for Collingwood, the finish. Not up to the build-up. Langford. He's had a pretty good afternoon. Now back on McEwen. Goes towards the outer side. Deer was up. Couldn't hang on. Atkins, who's been quiet, emerges from the pack. Back towards full forward. McEwen favoured by the kick. Should have taken the mark. He dropped it. Recovers well. Strong tackle by Langford. Shepherd's got it now. Hawke, 15 metres out. And I think he's missed. Hit the post. Well, they're getting plenty of the ball now, the Magpies. Their best 10 minutes so far in this game. But little return.
It's amazing, Dennis, when you start going in for the ball, how it then starts to run for you. And Collingwood are starting to lift, mainly through the efforts of Manson in the ruck, although he didn't get the last hit out. He really did set the pattern in the start, at the start of this last quarter.
Could it be Hawthorn are backing off a bit?
Well, it could be. They're so far in front now. And Gary Ayres waiting for the ball to come in. Somebody's going to take a souvenir home with them. Hawthorn were going to play the huddle. But now they're not. They've spread out, waiting for the Ayres kick in.
I think this bloke's come down from Brisbane. He was up there last Saturday night, making a living doing this. Goes from ground to ground, Scotty.
And the ball now coming in. The emergency umpire bringing the ball in, but we finally retrieved the ball and Ayres kicks in. Not a good kick off the boot, a floater towards the centre of the ground. Pack over run. It was Mew who got it on quickly, and a solid mark and a good chest mark by Jamie Turner in the centre of the ground. Whitman, his immediate opponent, on the mark. Plays on with a handball. Mullane by himself. Good chasing by Curran. In towards centre half forward. Shepherd behind. Can he take the mark? No. Spills. Collins plays on quickly. Platten under duress. Gets it towards the back to centre. Whitman. No opposition. He's got plenty of time. Looks for Tuck. McGuan there. Curran. Good tap on. Tisselakis running onto the ball. Jenke. Off interchange. Good tackle. They've trapped at Hawthorn. Tuck. What can he do? Taps it on. Jenke in after it. Tisselakis. And again, the ball to be bounced down for the umpteenth time by Peter Clayton.
Crowd getting involved in this game, despite the difference on the scoreboard. .47 points the margin. Curran is up. Pritchard couldn't control it. Morrissey goes off the ground. That's his forte. Condon now Platten deep in the pocket. Hit the post. Made something out of nothing. John Platten. He's played a remarkable game.
Kelly bring the ball back in. Christian by himself. Getting away from Curran on that occasion. Dip in and Menigo giving chase. Laying it off Christian. Dacos. He's tried hard in the centre. Across his body, but not finding the target and finding Chris Mew. Mew quickly across the ground, changing direction. Ayres. Alexander in pursuit. Nobody down forward. As Ayres just drifts the ball back on towards centre wing. Hawke can't control it. Late on the scene was Curran. Now it's Gayfer. They're trying to set it up. Gayfer to Mullane. Mullane's short. And Turner plays on quickly. Now the high ball into centre half forward. Manson underneath. Pack gather. Punched away. Coming onto a Dacos. Can't control it. May have been pulled off by Mew. Manson quickly done. Aitken. A high ball and running onto it Brown. Starcevic. Collins. Now Hawthorn will run it out through Deer. Pritchard, but under pressure as Barwick comes late on the scene. Brown underneath. Now Hawthorn will trap the ball in the heaviest part of the ground. No, Deer just about to break. But Peter Carey will come in. He will not bounce down in that particular part of the ground. He'll have to throw it up, and he does. And Deer and Manson to do the ruck work. Ball to ground once again in that glue pot. Rinstead coming on the ground at three-quarter time. Alexander gets the ball out. Platten can't control it. Hot. Under a lot of pressure from Shepherd, but he'll get the free kick, John Platten. And as you can see, Shepherd not too happy, trying to tell umpire Peter Carey that he grabbed him around the waist. Now Platten changing direction. Langford at the full back position will go across ground now with one bounce. Options not plenty. Condon in front of Dacos. Condon, what a quieter day than last week. Taps on. Collins playing soccer football as the ball goes towards the boundary line and overrunning it. Mullane, and the ball to be thrown in on centre wing in front of the interchange bench.
Well played that time by Anthony Condon. We've got this boundary throw in. Rusalakis was up in front, but it falls to Condon, who's away. Dunstall, where is he? Great fist on that one by Kelly. Going in solidly down there is Gayfer. Robbed of it by Morrissey, but he fights back and ties it up for Collingwood. Well, to all intents and purposes, that ball was on the chest of Dunstall, but getting a fist in there was Kelly. Great defence. Bounce about 25 metres out from the Hawks' attacking goal. You saw the time remaining. This is Alexander taken high. McGuan's got it now. The ball will come back. Down goes McGuan. Alexander to take the free. Up from the back pocket comes Member's side. Manson provides the target. Couldn't hang on. Barwick to Manson, setting the task. Tackled by Schwab. Dacos has got it from McGuan. Down he goes. McGuan again. Great tackling. Deer, the big fellow, really has done some chasing and some tackling today. And a couple of gentlemen down in front of our commentary position love his work. He gets a standing O from them. Boundary thrower.
And his opposite number, Manson, has also done a lot of good work, but it hasn't resulted on the scoreboard. Condon over his head. Dippy Domenico running onto it, but it was Jenke across to Whitman. Whitman looking further down the ground. Kelly and Dunstall underneath the ball. And a great mark. Gavin Brown drifting down from the wing. Plays on quickly. Alexander. Collingwood try to run the ball. They do through Christian to Aitken. Atkins across to Alexander, looking for another option, but it's not on as Alexander goes short to Turner, finds him. Turner playing on. This is a better build-up by Collingwood. Looking for McEwen, using the strong body behind Langford. Can he go? He has. And Ron McEwen, his 5th goal. And Collingwood moving on to 10-9-69. Still trailing Hawthorn 17-9, 111. But at least they're making a fight. And a little bit of respectability coming on the scoreboard as Turner is breaking from the centre. Good use of the body and quick recovery by McEwen for his 5th.
So since half-time, the Magpies have outscored the Hawks. Back in the middle. It seems too little too late. We're midway through this term. Dia wins it down. Jenke, nicely done to Condon. Schwab's got the run of it. He was well shepherded by Ayres. Little chip pass. Condon. A lot of possessions today for this man. Ward's half forward. Tuck takes the mark. Tuck, midway between the lines, centre wing and half forward. Going for distance, down towards Dunstall. Curran in front, over the top. Christian not paid. It falls to Curran. Gets the hurried kick away. Goes straight up in the air. Off hands. Forward an opportunity for Anderson. Brilliantly done, Dacos. Good tackle, Dippy Domenico. Dacos gets the kick away. And Mew comes up to take the mark. Too far out to score. Curran is drifting back. He sees him. He goes long. Curran is the target. Will have to be good. They closed on him. Dunstall. Chance at his 9th. It's good.
Didn't he rode the pack well on that occasion? Jason Dunstall. Curran went up, brought the ball to ground, and he just did not fly, Jason Dunstall. Watch this on replay. As Curran up there, and look at him in front, Dunstall. And what a magnificent snap over his head. He certainly blitzed them today, his 9th goal. Ball back in the centre. In Clayton. Bouncing hasn't been particularly good today by the umpires in the centre. Manson and Deere to do the ruck work. He's lifted himself, Manson. He's got it down on that occasion. Can he do it? He follows up well, the big fellow. Brown in there. Now Collingwood have got the run. Renstead, a high ball. McEwen and Langford will be underneath and fight for it. It's Langford over the back. May have been a free kick. No play, says the umpire. Langford trying to run it out. Mew under a lot of pressure, the Hawthorn defence now as Mew brings it back into the centre, and a good safe mark by Chris Whitman. Whitman in the centre of the ground, goes high towards the forward line. Well done by Kelly, punching it away from Dunstall. Anderson can't control it, overruns it now with a handball. Out to Jenke, he goes goalward. And Hawthorn, their 20th goal. Ray Jenke off interchange at 3/4 time. His first goal, a late replacement in that Hawthorn team. And here it is, the build-up again. Went around in a circle or two. Dean Anderson, as he got it across to Jenke, and no mistake. They're a very accurate side, and last week 11 players kicked goals out of the 22 against Richmond. But Jason Dunstall and Peter Curran have been the major kickers today as Michael Tuck, the veteran, goes off, and coming on Robert Dixon.
Got a question for you. Can you have a circle of 2? Back in the centre, Collingwood have got the 3. It's Dacos. You said you can, so you can. Dacos goes down towards half forward. McEwen from behind, a big leap. Langford knocks it forward. Atkins the hand pass to Alexander. Open goal. And he's missed to the left-hand side. Well, you've got to admire Collingwood because they've kept on coming in this final term. It's as ferocious now, this game, as it's been all day.
Well, they probably left their run a little late, though.
I think so. This is Ayres out near the boundary. Lays it off to Schwab, his 150th this afternoon. Over the top to Langford.
He's played a good game today, Chris Langford. they may have had his colours lowered with McEwen.
He's at left half back, kicks through the centre. Christian takes the mark out there, plays on quickly to Brown. Brown goes down towards half forward. Manson's in front. Deere gets a fist on it. Barwick, haven't seen a lot of him. Kick was smothered by Mew. Ricochets across to McGuinness. Back to Mew. Mew through the centre with a kick. Awkward bounce for Pritchard. They've still got the numbers. Dippia Domenico goes looking for the leading Dunstall. Took the half volley pretty well. Still he goes. Goes to ground in the tackle. Mullane smothered the hand pass from Dippia Domenico. Carusolakis got it across to this man Hawke. Hawke towards half forward. McEwen storming up. Still it's McEwen. Well shepherded by Starcevic. Tries to stab it across towards Hawke. Hawke's got it now to Renstead from 45 metres out. Murray Renstead. It looks good. It hit the post.
Well, Collingwood just cannot find those two big sticks. Murray Renstead hitting the post on that occasion. His second point for the quarter. Was on interchange for most of the day. Started this last quarter on the ground. It's Chris Mew, a bit slow to bring the ball in. Not too much movement down the ground. He goes out wide this time, out near the glue pot. Ball to ground, throwing himself in Manson, but it is Chris Langford who'll come up with the ball. And again, Ian Clayton to put the ball down to recommence play. Or he'll throw it up in that heavy spot of the ground. Manson and Deere, as Deere on that occasion, he gets it down. Dacos in there, and also the little fellow Johnny Platten, who has certainly thrown himself in, which is nothing unusual for the little fellow today.
What does that pair bring on the transfer market?
Manson over the back, gets it again. Ayres tackle, may have been a hot free kick to Manson. Just wait on the umpire's decision. A little bit slow on that occasion. A little bit of confusion as far as the players go, but it is going to Manson. And he's board shorts as he goes in towards centre half forward. Vasilakis, his first game for the season. Goes long, looking in for McEwen, and McEwen on the run, but a swab is cut off at McEwen lead. And Hawthorn again regroup and go out wide. Deere looking for options with a handball, but I think he's set up McGuinness. McGuinness can't clearly get away, and well trapped there by Alexander. A bad hand pass by Deere, trying to get a little bit of run out of the back line, but really put it to a stationary target, and a good tackle by Alexander.
123 to 71. And this ball runs out of bounds with the time remaining. Less than 8.5 minutes now. It's been a good day for football. Hardly any breeze. Quite cool in Melbourne, but bright and sunny. A little overcast now. Late in the day. Brown out of the congestion. Towards half forward with a kick. Alexander's got it out there. Hard against the boundary line. He pulls it back. Barwick. Good mark. Out of bounds is it? That's the decision. It's going back to Alexander. Well, can't understand that. Still, Alexander wastes no time. Down towards half forward. Starcevic.
No, free kick. I think it was a Shepherd. The mark being paid, Dennis.
Shepherd's got it now. Starcevic was the man who took the mark, so it was a Shepherd on Shepherd. He'll kick it goal from about 50 metres. Will fall in short. Very open forward line. Down to Dippia Domenico, who comes away running. Dixon from half back towards centre wing. Morrissey's the target. Knocked away by Gafer. Barwick. Barwick and Brown combining. Barwick's got it. With pace comes away. Down towards full forward. Langford's in front. Clever use of the body there. Arching his back. Arms fully extended out in front. Made it impossible for McEwen to get a hand on that ball.
Now Langford crossing the ground, finding McGuinness. McGuinness going short. Ayres. Hawthorn players left unattended. A long hand pass by Ayres. Now back from Pritchard. Ayres again, centre wing, going short. Hawthorn seeming to do what they like at the moment as Morrissey has the ball on centre wing. Asking for the player to be brought back on the mark. Goes long. Morrissey in the direction of Dunstall. Christian up in front, who's played a solid game. Been a good battle between he and Curran today. Turner, half back. And again, the ball will have to be thrown up. And underneath the pack once again. As you respect the little fellow, John Platten. Ball probably having to be thrown up. Ground a little heavy there, we can see by the sand on the 50-metre line. Manson getting it down. Dacos, who's lifted his game in the second half. Ball rolling towards the Hawthorn pocket. Dunstall in pursuit. Brown coming out, but I think there's going to be a free kick against Kelly on Dunstall.
Chance at 10.
Obviously in the back, you see James Manson there just shaking his head ruefully. Jason Dunstall, who has had a sensational day today. He's beaten two opponents, or had two opponents in McEwen initially, and now Kelly. Going for number 10. And that's number 10 on the board. Jason Dunstall, his second goal for the quarter. He kicked 3 goals in the first quarter, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, and that is his second in the fourth quarter. A sensational effort by the full forward. And only 1 point, and that came in the second quarter. So he's been very, very accurate when shooting for goal. And the other thing is he has laid it off to teammates.
5 men in the centre square. Dixon was late to come out, so Dacos gets the free kick. Long towards half forward, McEwen from behind, but he's not going to take too many from behind against this man, Langford.
Maybe falling into that trap, Dennis, after taking that specky in the third quarter.
Almost another one on the outer side. Getting up very high was Dixon. Picked up by Morrissey. Morrissey comes away. Little chip pass to Jenke. Jenke carries the ball down towards half forward. Dunstall storming up the ground, but chipping in front of him was Whitman. He thought about going to the square, and Curran, now he's told he's played on. He hooks it down towards full forward. Christian gets a fist on it. Well-angled fist too. Gets it out of bounds in the pocket. And we'll have a throw in.
Could have been a little slow on that occasion. Could have given it back to Ayres, who was going on his left around the boundary. Could have laid it off with a handball. And the ball could have gone a little quicker into the Hawthorn forward line.
Turner under some duress. There's the time remaining. And it will be another convincing win to the Hawks. It will be their 14th of the season. And Collingwood now under some pressure to hold a place in the top 5. Christian wins it down. Whitman goes in. Platten emerges with the ball. What a game he's played. Umpires must get sick and tired of getting the ball back from Platten, but that's, I guess, why you win Brownlow medals. Always giving it back because he's generally in the thick of the action, quite often coming up from the base of packs. There's a free kick going Collingwood's way, and it will be taken, I think, by Paul Hawke down there.
Hawke a little quieter than he was last week against Carlton. Then again, he's got quite a few teammates who really haven't shown their colours today. Hawke out of the Collingwood back pocket. High ball. Manson has the ball punched away from him. Onto it is Dean Anderson. Now they're setting it up. Jenke looking for Dunstall. Goes short, but he hasn't found Dunstall. He's found Curran. Now Curran across to Dunstall. Number 11. And combining well the Hawthorn team. Their skill is of such a high level that they usually do find their teammates, whether it be by hand or foot. There was Jenke who found Curran with the foot. There it is, Anderson across to Jenke. Jenke to Curran. And now with the hand from Curran across to Dunstall, number 11. His third goal for the quarter. And I'm running out of space to write down these goals.
Another centre square infringement against Hawthorn. Against Hawthorn. Falling to pieces. Manson's got the free kick towards half forward. Langford, just under 3.5 minutes remaining. Brown, outer side wing. Back into the forward line with a kick. Shepherd is up. Schwab does well. McGuinness in deep trouble. Hawke left without the ball. Shepherd rakes it in and will have a ball up.
Ball now on the 50-metre line. Collingwood's 50-metre line. 135, playing 71. And Hawthorn have been in control all day. Manson does it himself. Tries to break the pack. He does, the big fellow. Is he accurate enough? He is, finally. Well done, James Manson. He decided to take them on himself, contested the ruck work, and then broke through. Not a tidy kick off the ground, dribbled along the ground, but there he is, breaking Platten's tackle over the head, bounces in the goal square, and Collingwood's 11th. But he certainly does play with a lot of enthusiasm and has lifted since going into the ruck in the last quarter, James Manson. A good effort by the big fellow, and well followed up. His second goal. His first came in the first quarter. And they'll do battle again. Manson and Deere. It's Platten again underneath the pack. Doing it well out of that hard cricket pitch area. Gets it across to the running Pritchard. It goes for Dunstall. Magnificent pass. Platten who got it out to Pritchard. And Pritchard a great run. It's on again. Jenke. An unselfish play there by Dunstall. He's kicked 11, but it's got to go back. Obviously he didn't kick over his mark, or umpiring Clayton blew time on. Now he blew, yes, he did blow time on. So the clock has recommenced as Dunstall's lining up for his 12th. Ball on its way. Oh, that big post's always in the way, isn't it? 11 goals too. His second blemish on the scoreboard. Jason Dunstall.
The clock is running down on this game as Kelly kicks in. Great mark to Deere. That's been an absorbing duel since half-time. Deere and Manson. That time the honours with the Hawk. Back into the forward line it goes. Curran behind. Christian with courage almost the mark. Dacos over the ball, shovels it out. Mullane, who's been pretty quiet, scrambles a kick forward. Manson over the top that time. Barwick the hurried kick out wide. Inside the last minute and a half. Renstead missed DiPietro. He gets the hand pass away, not a particularly good one. Ayres couldn't control it. Dixon at close quarters to DiPietro. Jenke's got it now. High ball down towards full forward. Going back is Kelly. Curran with great courage committed to that one. And the ball jarred free and through it goes for a behind.
137. And 77. That was the margin. Margin was 50 points at half-time. It's now gone out to 60 points. As Dixon runs quickly onto the ball, but a free kick too high. Craig Starcevic to take it at Collingwood's half-back line. Goes out wide. Mullane all by himself. Dixon giving chase. Mullane goes high. Renstead. McGuinness behind. Should have punched it, but does. Taken the mark. Just a little too big on that occasion for Murray Renstead. Goes across the ground. Not a good kick. Can McEwen trap it? No, it's Deere who does. Now Deere sets it up with a handball. A scrubber by Langford. DiPietro dodging, going this way, that way. Finally gets it across to McGuinness again. McGuinness the high ball. He's put Anderson under a lot of pressure. Whitman or Collins breaks it out towards Condon. Condon now setting it up on centre wing. Hand pass to Whitman. Whitman going short into the hole. Dunstan or Curran? It's Dunstan on that occasion. Now follows up well. There's a short one out to Ayres, who then is very, very casual, maybe a little arrogant and complacent to try to get it across to Jenke. And it's Collingwood's turn through Gafer, who breaks from the half-back line. Starcevic. This is now keepings off. Not much pressure on. The handball trap as the ball goes over the boundary line. And Hawthorn have won out. Easy winners.
Well, Hawthorn, too strong. They've won by 60 points, 21-11 to 11-11. And the highlight, no doubt, here at Princes Park this afternoon has been the goal tally of 11 to Jason Dunstall. So Hawthorn, their 14th victory of the season, and Collingwood slipped back to 9-7, but still inside the 5. Yes, thanks, Drew. A bit of a fizzer, really. A one-sided game out here at Princes Park. A powerhouse display, though, coming from the Hawks. They dominated this game, and the star Jason Dunstall with 11 of those 21 goals. There's our final scoreline, 21-11, 137 to 11-11, 77. Other goal scorers for the Hawks, Curran got 5 and 2 each to Pritchard and Morrissey, and a single to Jenke. For the Magpies, McEwen gave them some life up forward. He finished with 5 goals. He started the game at full back. 2 each to Kelly and Manson, and singles to Alexander and Dacos. So Hawthorn simply too strong this season. Well, I guess it's fair to say after half-time Collingwood showed a bit more, but Don Scott, looking back over the game in total, Hawthorn awesome in that first half.
Well, they were, Dennis, and really the game belonged to Collingwood, I suppose, in the last quarter, but they were still outscored. They lifted their work rate and made a little bit of a respectable spectacle of the scoreboard, but Collingwood certainly were obliterated by the Hawthorn side. Hawthorn were just too good, they were too strong, they were too skillful, they had a better system of play, and Collingwood just did not concentrate and pick up the fellows around midfield, and that's where they really did fall down.
And most of the day they did it without Dermot Brereton. Hopefully, from their point of view, he's not too seriously injured.
No, that's right, but Hawthorn have got such a skilled side that anyone they put in, their system of play really does overcome a lot of weaknesses, and they're a very, very good side.
So repeating the final score, Hawthorn by 60 points. It was 21-11 to 11-11 at Princes Park. And